안녕하세요.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
And welcome to our video. We wanted to make a short little video telling you about some of our experiences so far in Korea. We've been here for 4 months and just wanted to let you know how it's going, right?
Right. We hope you enjoy it. There's been quite a few scary experiences for me, but probably the scariest thing that's happened to me while in Korea would be the day that I went to get my hair cut. I was already a little nervous because I knew I wasn't going to be able to communicate with the lady. Before I know it, she has all my hair in front of me, it seemed like, and she's just chopping and chopping. And I realized that she's cutting bangs. And it was just like pulled straight in front of my face and she's just cutting straight across. So I started like panicking. But I couldn't say anything because she doesn't speak English and I don't speak enough Korean. So I started panicking. I'm getting hot, getting sweaty underneath that thing. And it was just like, I was just wanted to burst out and say, please stop cutting my bangs. But it ended up, I just let her do it. Everything was fine. And she wasn't cutting them straight across. She was cutting them to sweep them over. But for a minute, it was like an out-of-body experience. I wanted to tell her to stop, but I just couldn't. But it turned out okay.
Let's see, the craziest foods. Well, there's a couple that I just won't touch. I try to be open when it comes to Korean food, but there's just a couple things, like for one, sundae, which is pig intestines. Stuff with all kind of stuff. I'm not even sure anyone knows exactly what goes into that, but just chopped up pig intestine, but it looks black. You know, it doesn't look like any kind of meat that, you know, we'd be familiar with. It's just black, looks like charcoal made into food. I don't know. But anyway, I won't touch that stuff. And also squid, some squid. Squid is a nice dish over here, but it's funny, we were at a teacher's dinner one night and they served out this squid that was still moving on the plate. It was raw squid and it was just cut up in little pieces. But those pieces were like moving around and stuff, and I don't know, I don't like
My typical day at school, I arrive there about 8:30 and then normally have about 30 minutes to kind of get materials ready for class, or some days just have time to sit there and drink a cup of coffee and check email if I don't have anything to prepare. So I have about 30 minutes most days to get stuff ready, and then my first class starts at 9 o'clock. And I have 4 classes most days from 9 until 12:10. And they're 40-minute classes with 10 minutes in between each class. Time for the students to change classes or time for us to get prepared for the next class. And then on Tuesday and Thursdays, I have a mother's class that I teach at 2 o'clock. So on a few days of the week, I'm preparing for that, and I don't have a textbook for that, so it's kind of a struggle for me to come up with new material twice a week for that. But they're intermediate English level, so they're able to speak a good bit. So it's more of a conversation class. So I just try to get them talking and try to put them in different situations where they would need to have a conversation. And as far as what's it like to teach in Korea, for me it's challenging some days, but then other days it's a breeze. For me, teaching the students is easier than it is to teach the adults, to teach the mothers, just because of the lack of material that I have. With the students, we're able just to go through the book, and I can work with my co-teacher, and they're really energetic and fun, and we get to play games. But with the mother's class, it's more of a struggle for me just by myself to come up with what to teach them. But for the most part, it's very enjoyable. The kids are very sweet, and the mothers are very sweet, and so are the teachers. All of them really have a desire and motivation to learn English. So for me, it's been a great experience.
What do I think about the Korean language? Well, Kelsey and I both took a Korean class, as some of you may know, and it really, for me personally, taught me a whole lot about just how other cultures and peoples communicate. Just, I guess what I thought previously was that, people from other countries are saying exactly what, Westerners or Americans are saying, except in another language. Like, exactly how we say it, the same phrasing and everything is exactly the same, just in Italian, Korean, Chinese, whatever. But what I've learned from actually taking another language course and learning some of the expressions, it's not like that at all. It's like not only is it a new language, but it's totally different phrasing, totally different, semantics, linguistics, I don't know what you call it, but it kind of gives you kind of telescope or microscope into how people think, kind of how people, it's on a larger scale, how people are thinking, how they're formulating sentences and ideas, stuff that I just thought was just plain and simple. I learned that it's not, and it's totally different. And that's been fun for me, learning that and trying to emulate that, trying to speak the little Korean that I do. But it's a fun language. And I would like to study further, and even when I come home, I would like to keep studying. I hope I don't forget what I've learned. And it's been very fun, kind of, just going into little restaurants or little shops and trying to say the little things that I know. And I think, everybody gets a kick out of it, foreigner trying to speak Korean. But anyway, it's been very fun so far. Hopefully I can keep it up.
Some of the best foods that I've had, one of them is called kalguksu, which is like a thick noodle, and it's in a type of soup or broth. It's different at different places, but to me it's good because most of the time it's just pretty basic, just in a broth that isn't too crazy. There's also samgyeopsal, which is like pork, and either you cut it with scissors or the waiter cuts it with scissors, and then you have a grill on your table and you can grill the meat yourself, and that's also really good.
Let's see, the best experiences I've had in Korea, I would say maybe just traveling around and experiencing new things and different sites. Back home, we kind of take things for granted. It's home. Oh, we know that. Oh, Shakespeare Festival, this or that, we know it. But when you're in a different country, everything's totally new. It's fun just exploring, just going in this place and that place and, going to this park, some new thing. It's all very fun and very new, and I like doing that. And I like taking the camera along for the ride and capturing some of that. And, the food is nice and just a lot of good things about being here. I guess just the newness of everything.
안녕히 계세요.